There's a lot of uncertainty brewing in the bloodline on WWE SmackDown. Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa don't seem to be on the same page, which could lead to issues down the line. But what if the new tribal chief removes the Wiseman from the group? Solo's father, Rikishi, was recently asked about the possibility of replacing Heyman in the bloodline. The WWE Hall of Famer claimed he would see the move coming from a mile away and expressed his interest in becoming the new Wiseman. Speaking on his podcast Rikishi Fatu Off the Top, he admitted it would make sense for him to join the bloodline. While initially reluctant to the idea, Rikishi revealed how he would change things by ensuring an even playing field on both sides of the dominant faction. Damn it, every time I keep trying to leave myself out, you guys keep trying to pull me back in. And of course, I'm not saying no, I won't. What I'm saying is, hey, I'll see it coming a mile away and I'll know when it's time for me to throw my name in the hat, said Rikishi. At the end of the day, we're going to make sure that this is going to be an even playing field for the bloodline on both sides, he added. 1334 to 1404, Rikishi went on to praise Jey Uso's run to the King of the Ring semifinal. He will face Gunther this coming week on WWE Raw, with a spot in the tournament final on the line. Rikishi teased another on-screen role related to the bloodline. Later in the same episode of his podcast, Rikishi spoke about his nephew, Jacob Fatu. The WWE Hall of Famer essentially claimed that he would be the Samoan Werewolves manager if he needed one, while rejecting a legendary name's proposal to come out of retirement to manage the real-life bloodline member. WWE fans are eagerly waiting for Fatu's debut. However, there reportedly are concerns over the Samoan Werewolf potentially outshining his cousin, Solo Sikoa, who has been placed as the tribal chief. So, if Jacob Fatu does need to debut as an individual, who better to endorse him than Rikishi? That could eventually lead to the Attitude Era legend replacing Paul Heyman as the Bloodline's Wiseman, as teased earlier. In the world of professional wrestling, surprises and comebacks are the lifeblood of the industry. WWE thrives on the unexpected, and the rumor mill is always churning with speculations about who might return, who might switch allegiances, and who might rise to the top of the heap. The latest buzz has set the wrestling community ablaze with excitement and intrigue. A 58-year-old legend is reportedly hinting at a return to WWE, potentially replacing Paul Heyman as the Wiseman for the Bloodline. The Bloodline, led by the indomitable Roman Reigns, has been a dominant force in WWE, with Paul Heyman serving as the mastermind behind the scenes. Heyman's role as the Wiseman has been integral to the faction's success, providing strategic guidance and managing the complex dynamics of the group. However, change is in the air, and whispers suggest that a wrestling icon is poised to step into Heyman's shoes, bringing a new vision and energy to the Bloodline. The legend in question is none other than Mick Foley, a name synonymous with wrestling greatness. Foley's storied career spans decades, characterized by his extraordinary ability to connect with fans and his willingness to endure unimaginable physical punishment. From his days as Cactus Jack to his tenure as Mankind and Dude Love, Foley has always been a master storyteller, both in and out of the ring. His return to WWE, particularly in a role as influential as the Wiseman, would be nothing short of monumental. Foley's potential return has been hinted at in cryptic social media posts and interviews. Recently, during an appearance on a wrestling podcast, Foley made a tantalizing remark: "The Bloodline is a fascinating group, but every family needs a shakeup now and then. Sometimes, the wisest thing you can do is bring in a fresh perspective." This statement has been dissected by fans and analysts alike, many interpreting it as a clear indication of Foley's intentions. So, what would Mick Foley bring to the Bloodline? For starters, Foley's deep understanding of wrestling psychology and his innovative approach to storytelling could offer new dimensions to the faction. While Heyman has excelled in positioning Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, Foley's creative mind could explore uncharted territories, adding layers of complexity and unpredictability to the group's narrative. One of the most significant changes Foley could implement is altering the dynamics within the Bloodline. Historically, Foley has thrived in roles where he can play with moral ambiguities and character depth. He might encourage a more nuanced portrayal of the Bloodline members, highlighting their individual strengths and vulnerabilities. This approach could humanize the group, making them more relatable and multidimensional, even as they continue their reign of dominance. Moreover, Foley's return could pave the way for new alliances and rivalries. His history with various WWE superstars and his ability to forge compelling storylines could lead to fresh matchups and intriguing feuds. Imagine Foley orchestrating a storyline where the Bloodline faces internal strife, leading to unexpected alliances and betrayals. Such a scenario would captivate audiences, keeping them on the edge of their seats. Foley's involvement could also introduce a more hardcore edge to the Bloodline's image. Known for his brutal matches and fearless approach to in-ring competition, Foley might advocate for more intense, high-stakes encounters. This could elevate the Bloodline's reputation, showcasing them as not only dominant but also willing to push the boundaries of physicality and endurance. Another aspect worth considering is Foley's ability to mentor and elevate younger talent. Throughout his career, Foley has been instrumental in helping up-and-coming wrestlers find their footing in the industry. His guidance could be invaluable to members of the Bloodline, particularly those who are still relatively new to the main event scene. Under Foley's tutelage, they could refine their skills, develop their personas, and solidify their places in WWE's hierarchy. While the prospect of Foley replacing Heyman is thrilling, it's important to acknowledge the challenges involved. Heyman's departure would be a significant loss, given his unparalleled promo skills and deep understanding of the business. Transitioning from Heyman's style to Foley's would require careful planning to ensure a seamless narrative shift. However, WWE has a history of successfully navigating such changes, and with Foley's experience, the transition could be executed with finesse. In addition to Foley's potential creative contributions, his return would undoubtedly generate a massive buzz, drawing both lapsed and new fans to WWE programming. Foley's popularity transcends generations, and his involvement in a high-profile storyline like the Bloodlines would be a major draw for audiences. WWE has always excelled in leveraging star power to boost viewership, and Foley's comeback could be a strategic move to reignite interest and excitement in the product. As with any rumor in the wrestling world, it's important to take the speculation with a grain of salt. However, the possibility of Mick Foley stepping into the role of the Wiseman for the Bloodline is tantalizing. His unique blend of creativity, experience, and charisma could infuse new life into the faction, driving compelling storylines and unforgettable moments. In conclusion, the potential return of Mick Foley to WWE, particularly as a replacement for Paul Heyman as the Wiseman of the Bloodline, represents a thrilling prospect for fans and the wrestling industry alike. Foley's legendary status, combined with his innovative approach to storytelling, could bring a fresh dynamic to one of WWE's most dominant factions. While the wrestling world waits with bated breath to see if these hints materialize into reality, one thing is certain: if Mick Foley does return, WWE is in for a wild, unforgettable ride.